Ho, 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 ho. What's up? What's up? Thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome, welcome one, welcome all to the Jerkmonger Show, coming at you live from Jerkmonger Studios here in Tampa, Florida. It is 4:40 in the morning. I'm trying something different here, guys. I'm trying to get to a point where I am earlier in the morning, maybe trying to get my work done sooner than later. All kinds of good stuff. But thank you guys for showing up. I thank you. I have one person watching right now, which is good to go. Good for me. Good for my own ego. Good to keep me humble. And maybe we'll get some more people, hopefully from other parts of the world. Hopefully from around the globe. Hopefully. Anyway, you are witnessing another attempt at drawing some characters for my project with Doug Tenaple. I'm very excited about it, actually. I'm going to show you a little bit of what I've got cooking here. These are some of the drawings. I'm going through a lot of stuff here. I'm organizing all my drawings here because I've been very disorganized with this project up to this point on this Photoshop document. So what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of lining up all my stuff to make sure that it's exactly what I need. This one actually might be better. And yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. This is Gina. This character's name is Gina, as you can see. She is quite lovely, quite the lovely lady. Lovely lady. Okay, make sure I'm not using up too much of my stuff. So I'm just going to zoom in here so you can see about where I've landed with this character, what I kind of expect from her from a visual standpoint. I'm missing some art here, but maybe I'll get that later. Yeah, so this has been pretty much what she looks like, and the other character here is Hank. Hank is also Hank is all over the place right now. I'm gonna push her aside for a moment. See, I've got drawings back there. So what I'm trying to do here is, like I said earlier, I'm trying to make sure that I'm just showing you what's the current stuff, but this is kind of all the multiple layers that I have built up for this character so far. So we're just gonna bring that in there. That's where I'm at there. So you can see a little bit of that. And I'm pretty happy with that so far. This is the same art. I just pushed it to the side just so I can start organizing my stuff on the same page. And then finally, the character, I'm not going to be doing too much touching on him today, but one of the characters that I'm excited about is Nicodemus, or Nick. So Nick is going to be one of my guys. Again, not giving away too much info on all my characters, but you can kind of see here, what I like about this is you get to see the evolution. That's what I was trying to do last night, is organize myself as far as the evolution of this character, you know, how I had planned to draw him at various stages. Some of these are duplicates. Eventually I'll clean all this up, but at some point I had this as my concept here. I was kind of playing around with a bunch of, it was going more cartoony. I'm glad that I shifted away from that, and I've kind of landed at around here. This is my latest iteration of the character, and I'll just zoom in on that. It's a little more sophisticated in the line quality. You can see my inks there, digital inks. I'm not sure how I'm going to handle this. I think that I'm not sure. I got a funny feeling I'm gonna I don't want to speak to that yet. I want to stay loose and nimble. So one of the thoughts I had for the campaign was to have original art sold after the comic is completed. The problem is it's so easy for me to work digitally, and it helps me stay on track with my productivity. So I'm still weighing out the pros and the cons of that before I launched our campaign, to make sure that you know, unfortunately it would make a nice, it would be a nice perk or reward for Indiegogo. So we'll I'm still working on that. It seems like it's gonna have to be that anyway. So we'll see. If you guys in the chat who are watching, I see 2 people are watching. If you guys want to chime in, feel free. I'll answer questions if you'd like, or maybe you're just getting ready for work or coming back from work, depending what part of the world you're from. Then by all means, maybe you don't have to say anything, but if you're interested in jumping in, feel free. All right, so see, I'm liking all this. I like this better than the other drawings I've done of the other characters so far. So he's a much more interesting character, way more interesting than I had anticipated. But we'll see. Give him some whiskers here. This is why I like working digitally, because I can edit so quickly. The effort to jump in and make an adjustment is so minimal when you're doing something digital like this, or you've got where you have less time. You can kind of come in, cut up a few pieces, and keep moving. Whereas when I have to draw it, redraw it, white it out, all that kind of stuff, it kind of takes up time. Humphrey, you're chiming in. Very good. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Thank you very much. It's always important that if you are here, please come in, man. Sometimes this is a lonely job when I'm working in it. And if I'm going to do what I'm planning here, which is to work earlier, I'm going to need y'all's support to jump in sooner than later. All right, so I'm going to throw a little line there, a couple little lines. See, maybe that's not necessary. I got to see about this. This is where I have to fight myself. My temptation, because of the way that I've drawn for so long, has been to I think I've given off the wrong signal at times. People assume that the way I prefer drawing is that more involved, comic book inking style. That's just because of the way I've always drawn. I was trying to get into comics that way, but I actually prefer this style. I know I might be talking out of both sides of my mouth. I know I've mentioned that I prefer the other stuff. I guess I just love all of it. I don't have one way that I like drawing. I like the way it looks when it looks like old school comic art. I like the way it looks when it looks like when it looks like I'm gonna put this on top of here to help me out. When it looks like animation, I love the way I love all the looks, all of the looks. But the problem is, to be perfectly honest though and frank, it can't be all those things. It has to be. You have to pick a lane. So this is something I've been talking about here lately. And it's something I'm thinking about doing with some of my fellow artists, and it's to maybe do some sort of like a workshop or time where we can kind of all talk about best practices. I think there's going to be a need. We don't have the room. I don't like that. I don't think we have the room to play around too much from an artistic standpoint, and what's the term I'm looking for a production standpoint. We need to move and hustle. Because we're being compared to all these people unfairly, I believe. Not unfairly. It's not unfair. That's not right. That's not the right term. I'd say we're being compared. I don't know. I have to say wrongly. I'm going to say wrongly. It's not unfair. It's just not the correct comparison. It's an apples to oranges comparison. When you compare independent creators to people in Marvel and DC and say, how come they're not getting their stuff complete and fast? I think sometimes some of these creators, I think, have come from a world where they were just penciling or they were just inking, but that very few are coming from the world where they were penciling, inking, and writing, and coloring, and all that. And so we may have misjudged our timing, but that doesn't mean that we're not trying to make every effort of getting this stuff complete and out to everybody. So, which is one of the reasons why I've held back in my own production here for this project, I didn't want to promise something I couldn't accomplish. So the solution I came up with was to come up with a style that was a little bit more nimble, a little bit more easy to manipulate. It's not to say that it's any easier as far as understanding what to do and what to draw, but I think in the end, it's more, after I've done the hard work of the planning, the work of rendering is a little bit more, it's a little bit more cleaner. It's a little bit more sustainable. Maybe that's the better word, sustainable. Sustainable art. Is that even a term? Has anybody ever used that term? I'm using that term from now. Sustainable art, because that's really what I'm trying to do here, is art that makes the most sense for the project I'm working on. And again, this is not a new concept, but it's one that I think bears the effort to discuss it, because I think, you know, this is maybe partly because of my interactions in the comic art community and the way people perceive art. They don't perceive it the way I offer it. They perceive it as, you know, oh, this is cool, but what have you done? And oh, and look at the detail and blah, 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 blah. So it's very challenging. And a lot of artists who are working in quote unquote cartoon styles, like say Mike Waringo was one in particular. I remember I used to read articles by him. Hold on, I'm taking a drink of water here, guys. I used to read articles by him, and he would not complain, but he would lament that people were just not that, you know, not that open to his work because they felt it was too cartoony. What does cartoon mean? You know, cartooning is a funny term because it's not as though it obviously is referring to a style or a look that comes from American animation. I think anime has definitely impacted that term as well, and has I think robbed it of its proper place in our mind. I think we're diminishing the effort because of that look. Now, granted, you like what you like. I can't stop you there. And don't get me wrong, I like sophisticated levels of art as well. I'm just saying that there's going to come a point where we have to make a decision about how far we're going to take this, you know. I like the American animation style. Yeah, so do I. And it's sad because a lot of people will they just perceive it poorer. Ironically, comic art has always been known as lowbrow art. That's the interesting thing about all this stuff. It's usually been categorized as lowbrow. Even the better stuff is still lowbrow. You're doing stuff for comic books. That's not even the real art stuff. That's just kind of, it's almost like it's its own community. It's a separate thing. So anyway, so now I'm going to show you, I'm going to stack this guy here, somewhat inked, up against this guy here. All right, and this is why I usually move this, turn this off. So you can kind of see how these guys kind of work against each other or in conjunction with each other. So there's Nick, right? Here, let me do something. I'll tell you what I'll do. And here's Hank. I'm going to find, there was a headshot somewhere that I did. Oh, this will do. That'll do. I'll turn this one off. So now you kind of see how these guys are playing off. It's like comedy and drama both have its place and fans. That's true. That's true, Humphrey. You're absolutely right. And I think it's important to keep those. Now, sometimes you can have drama and comedy together. And I think that's where you have the best mix. For me, for my personal taste, you know, all my favorite movies and stuff have that sort of thing. Force One says, dang, wake up and looky, who holding a live chat. Glad I woke up now. Right on, Force One. Yeah, I got to get to the point where I'm a little more, I gotta get to sleep earlier these days and blah, blah, blah. So there's Hank and Nick, best of friends. We'll see more about them and throughout the story. I'm excited to tell you guys more of the story. Doug and I, we've been communicating frequently. Over the last few days, not so much because I think I had a kind of like a crash, guys. I think I fell apart. Not crazy about that being the case, but I am tired and I've been doing things the wrong way. So what I tried to do, I slept most of the day yesterday and I went to bed early again so I can try to get squared away and get myself back on the right schedule. Lorenzo Sleestack of Gulf City says, "Hail, brothers and sisters." Hey, what's up? Humphrey says, "Hello, Lorenzo Sleestack of Gulf City." All American Cornbread says, "What's up?" Cornbread. All American Cornbread. All right, so I'm going to work on another character today. And this character, this is not so much, this is a character, but it's more of a force of nature character. This is one of the complications you'll see in the book. I'm looking at reference here. I'm getting my mind ready for what I'm about to start drawing here. So we're going to do some concepting here of what is supposed to be a good story. Humphrey Bear says, a good story can be told in many styles, in my opinion. I agree with that. Absolutely. So hopefully in the end, that's what you guys will understand and recognize in the work that Doug and I are putting together. It's very exciting. Hold on, I'm gonna fix my phone and I got all my wires and cords wrapped up here in the wrong way and it's interrupting my flow. Why am I interrupting my own flow? It's like I'm self-sabotaging. Why do people self-sabotage? Sabotage. All right. So this is going to be, I'm going to start from my top leftmost section of my art screen here because this is going to be a little challenging. All right, we're going to start off with what might be a wolf. Let's just start sketching monsters. Let's start creating some monsters because this is going to be where it all hinges, right? Force One says, "Dude, I know what you mean about comic art being considered lowbrow. I went to school for graphic design and the fine arts teacher looked down on my work because it was too comic bookish." Well, that's true, you know. And I mean, you know, I got to be honest with you. I think comic art can be lowbrowish. I guess we got to examine the definition of comic art. Now, I realize some artists have taken that art form and have brought it to another level. You know, I would say that looked like fine art. I would say guys like Olivier Coipel. I'd say guys maybe like Travis Charest, perhaps. But the reason why I think it's considered lowbrow is because it's, you know, by definition, comic art was designed to be something that was moving and grooving. Okay. It was never designed to be something that would linger in someone's collection. It was designed to communicate. It's kind of where comic strips fall. And really it kind of comes back to comic strips. I mean, I think that's really the thing. And they may be well crafted and well designed and all, but they were designed for throwaway. So hence the lowbrow designation. I don't think it was ever intended to be a dig on it, but it was never intended to last beyond its purpose. Its purpose was to communicate a joke or a moment or you know, a looser concept, moving quickly through the idea and then pressing forward. Today, comics have become a whole other thing. I'm not crazy about this guy already. I'm gonna move on to another drawing. I'm trying to design a beast of some sort. I'll just keep talking. I'll keep letting my pencil roam around. No, I mean, she literally came out and said all comic book artists are not artists. Well, I mean, oh, I guess that's not true. I can't agree with that, but I can appreciate where her education in the idea of comic art comes from, because it's not, you know, it's not what it is. I think if you look at Michelangelo's drawings, see, I think a lot of times comic art looks like the drawings that great masters would do for their preliminary stuff. Let's see, Humphrey says, how do you make the lines look like ink or pencil? Is the digital brush or the tablet? I have a specific brush that looks like pencil. I'm going to zoom in for you. This brush gives it a pencil texture. I love it. I love it. Then I have another brush here. These are brushes that I purchased from a gentleman named Kyle Webster. And he gives this brush a little bit of texture, so it's not perfectly smooth. I like that too. But back to my animation. This is the animator pencil. Are you designing a furry character? I don't know if furry character, if the character is gonna be wild, crazy. I'm really trying to. I'm bending my thoughts the about. I've been doing these cartoony people for so long now. I'm not thinking. I haven't really thought about the monsters, but I draw good monsters though. I got to keep that in mind. Keep the monsters. Keep it simple. I wonder if this guy has extra eyes. It's supposed to be like a. It's supposed to be a werewolf, but I want to give it something more than that. I want to make it like a something from another dimension. Something Lovecraft would be proud of. All right, back to my nonsense about don't let Dirty Doug turn you into a furry. No, he shall not allow, turn me into to such things. I shall not take it. What do you call it? Anyway, so yeah, I think that I get why maybe some people in the fine art community don't see it the way we see it, you know. And you know, we're dabbling in a postmodern sketch. What's going on, man? We're dabbling in a postmodern, you know, art field. You know, we're we're dealing with styles and we're calling art things that are art that are art. You know, it's ironic because we're in the same category as people who will say, "Oh, this picture of Mary defecating is not art," and yet we're calling this art. And the people on the outside say, "Well, they're all the same." No, it's not the same. No, it's not the same. But I think that's where you have to start deciding whether you believe art is what it is, or is art something more. Is art really intent, right? And then in their case, is if it's intent, if that's the main goal of art is intent, then maybe it's good or not because of what it communicates. I don't know if that's a good way to look at it. This is me. Just you gotta when you're kind of coming up with a theory about anything, you have to kind of play around with multiple interpretations and angles. But beauty is beauty. I think that's the thing. I think that's where maybe your art teacher, Force One, didn't really was being a jerk because we're dealing with beauty. And I guess in the end, because we're in a postmodern culture, we're communicating at postmodern levels. And so this is in our culture, this is what beauty looks like. If we're being honest, I don't know Mary, but that's porn. Oh Lord. See, I'm gonna start with something here. Now that I've kind of got an interesting thing here, but I don't like how bulky it is. I want it to be a little more deadly. What I'm gonna try to do is think about a skull, okay? And I'm doing a loose interpretation of what I can remember an animal skull might look like. I don't know it by heart, but so maybe there's something to this. I'm gonna definitely. This is the snout, whatever. Anyway, but you know, I think sometimes comic artists take themselves too seriously too, and maybe we don't. Maybe we should take ourselves more seriously. But I think that's where we have a problem, right? Because now we have people looking at what basically is your junk art, and we're saying, "Oh, that's junk art, but this is better junk art." And I think what we're losing is the opportunity to understand that, you know, some people don't see it that way anyway. So let's just chill out. Let's chill out with each other. Little horns here, maybe. I don't know. And let's look at all this stuff as potentially, you know, I think some people like that something looks a little more like modernist or classic art, and so they'll say, "Oh, that's better art." So guys like Olivier Coipel do stuff. You know, Kim Jong-il is that kind of level of artist. Great artist, and I highly respect him. But he's moving fast too, obviously. So, wonder, does his stuff classify? I don't know. All right, so I like this right here. Is there a place for? Sometimes I've seen creature designs where the monster is under the skull. It's like an exoskeleton. That's kind of a cool idea. But never mind all that. I mean, I'm just trying to make the argument that The argument here isn't whether a comic art is art or not. My argument is can cartoonier art that's not doesn't look like Neil Adams, can that still be acceptable? And why is it not acceptable? That's really what I'm saying here. Force One says, no offense, friend, but I could put draw out, paint out any medium her ass all day long and twice on Sunday. I had to bite my tongue so I wouldn't fail the class. Ironically, I aced the class. There you go. That's all that matters, man. And sometimes that's how you have to, you have to keep it. Is this what am I in this situation for? And it's like I tell my son. My son argues, why am I going to school? Well, because you're learning discipline, and you're dealing with deadlines. And if anything, that's really, but see, that's a deadline deadlines are a commercial artist problem, not a fine artist problem. So that's, I think, one of the other reasons why people look at this art form a little differently, because this art form, the purpose of this art form, the end result is not the same as what's happening. Say, a fine artist gets to spend time painting, where I don't have that luxury. I have to get my art completed. All the commissions that I have to wrap up today and tomorrow, they have to be done at a certain time. They have to be complete by a certain time. Fine art, by its nature, is meant to be something that's taken time to produce. So, okay, I like this guy. I like this concept here. I'm giving him almost has like a worm or an insect body, but I gotta be careful. I'm not creating something so detailed. Before I say all that, before I'm worried about being too detailed, I'm just going to draw the thing that I like, and then I'll try to come up with a diluted version or a simpler version to do. So let's just do that first. Lion skull in the middle. Lion skull in the middle. I don't know what that is. I don't know what a lion skull looks like. I imagine it looks like sort of like what I think I'm developing a thing here. So I like this idea. The only thing is, I don't like the idea of there being bones outside of the thing. This almost has a Beta Ray Bill feel to it. Maybe he's got extra holes for his nasal passage. Maybe fire comes out of here. Fire. Hellfire. I don't know. The middle one looks like a lion skull. Well, it looks like a lion so far. I mean, maybe if I gave it a mane. Hey, what's up? What's up, man? What's up, man? I don't know. Maybe not. All right, so maybe this is the beast. The beast. Ooh, maybe he's got spikes along the ridge. This guy's gonna have a throaty neck here. Look at that. It almost has a T-Rex. I don't mind that. I don't mind if it's like a mix between a T-Rex and a wolf. That'd be kind of cool. Art is art, says Force One. Cartoony style can hold as much beauty as a realistic detail image. I find of the artist is good enough, the beauty and skill comes through. See, but the problem is with that statement, Force One, is art beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Always has been. So, what some people say is beauty, you might think is garbage, and we can't just say it's art, because then when people do other stuff, that I think there is something to be said about the type of beauty. I think that's important, but I don't know what the distinctions are necessarily. I'm just not comfortable saying everything is art, because then anything is art, and then anything is art, then therefore everything is just what it is, and then it gives a pass. Oh, well, you can't complain about that because it's art. Well, no, hold on. You can't critique my art because it's my art. Okay, now there's no limitations, so there's no way to critique it, and I think that's a problem, right? I guess it depends on what you're trying to accomplish. If you're trying to accomplish, a style that is highly detailed, but you don't achieve it, then maybe that's where we have to look at and say, maybe this is not what you wanted to do. But I definitely think that comic art probably should fall into the category of graphic art. I really feel that way. My art is lowbrow garbage. What are you talking about? I deal in garbage. I deal in trash. Art trash. All right, let's see. This may be too much. I'm not sure about that. But let's see, we could come up with something else, because I want it to be a werewolf. So let me draw a werewolf concept first. Maybe I'll start from there instead. So by the way, this is how I come up with ideas. I'll start drawing whatever, and I'll keep on plugging until something kind of hits me. And I could think about, the Wolf Man. It might be kind of cool to look at. The Wolf Man, the classic Wolf Man. But he's classic Wolf Man though. I just drew a werewolf the other day, but he was too human. I wanted to have like I want it to be. I like dogs that have short muzzles too. I don't like when they always have this giant. You like the lion skull? But it's not supposed to be a lion. It wasn't a lion skull either. I was trying to draw a wolf skull, but a bulky one. So I like that. It almost has like a boxer nose, boxer snout. I don't know. But this character is not that important, but it is going to be important because it's going to appear a couple of times. I would agree with the comic book is a graphic art, but it's still art. All right. Well, don't get defensive, Force One. I'm just saying. I'm just comparing what we're doing and understanding why the culture sees it the way it is. I'm not here to defend it or not, because it doesn't need to be defended. I think it is what it is. I think that's the bottom line. I think it doesn't matter. Maybe that's the problem here, right? Maybe that's the problem. Look, I see my stuff as a product. And I think the problem is that we want people to accept us. I don't need you to accept me. I need people who like my stuff and want to buy it and want to consume it. Either read it, buy it, look at it, whatever. Does it matter if it's, what's up, Oshin? Does it matter if it's accepted by the fine art community or not? Does it really matter at the end? Why are we letting ourselves be limited by their commentary about our stuff? And I think I'm just trying to understand why they think that way, but I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care what that community says, because I have people that love my work enough to purchase it, and that's all that matters. If they didn't purchase my work, then I'd stop producing it. I'd be working at a bank or something, or not, or I don't know. And actually, that's another whole other. I won't even get into that, but who knows where I'll be in the next 5-6 months. But the point I'm making here is that it doesn't really matter. That's not to argue whether it's art or not. It's a subjective conversation anyway. It doesn't matter, because people are going to always have their multiple opinions. The more important thing is, what are you doing with what you do? I think I used to say, oh, I'm an artist. Like, I am what I am. I am whatever I need to be. What do you need me to be? I'll be your private dancer. I don't think Bill Maher would accept your work as art, says All American Cornbread. He probably would not. Sketch says, pockets matter, food on the table matters, the rest is hogwash. I think I agree with that. I'm your private dancer for money. I think some people are too eager to be, how come they don't like me? It's funny because it's I kind of like this guy. It's kind of it's weird because it kind of falls into the category, in my opinion, of what I've been telling my son. I can't change what people think about me. I could just produce what I produce, and at the end of the day, well, whether it's art or not will be retroactively perceived in the end, where people look back and say, oh yeah, it was art. Okay, thanks. I think what is important though, despite all that, is, are you exercising skill in what you're trying to achieve? That's important. Skill. Are you producing something? And what you're producing, are you producing it well? Are you producing it efficiently? Are you making most use of your time? But I think it definitely falls into art as artisanship. I think there's a craft involved in what we do. But and I think at the end of the day, I want people to, not offensive, says Force One. My belief is everything is art. Dennis is an art. in their craft. They have varying levels of skill in the craft. I have seen carpenters finish products that have blown my mind. Oh well, fair enough. Fair enough. I don't see it that way necessarily, but I think art, the term art, I think I'm starting to, as I'm getting older, I'm thinking it's a little bit pretentious, because now we're mad if people don't acknowledge it as art. I think really, is it cool? Is it awesome? Is it amazing? Oh yeah, whether it's on that level, because I'll tell you what's not art. When the dentist hurts my face, then I want to punch him, and I don't go, ooh, good art. I go, ugh, jerk, I hate you. So anyway, but that's you know. But I think if we're here to improve, let's improve. I wish people took it that seriously when it came to critique, because then they get all weird and like, oh, don't look at my stuff. You can't, don't judge me. Like, okay, and that maybe that's the reason why some people, I think, need it categorized as art, because then it absolves them of some sort of critique and proper examination. But I think that goes back to, what are we doing it for? Are we doing it for? If you're doing it for yourself, it doesn't matter. Just have fun, knock yourself out. But I think, I guess it depends on where we're heading with it. All right, so, because I've seen people that say this is art, and I'm like, it's all right. How dare you? Like, it's all right. I want me to tell you, my poo patties I made in 3rd grade in the class, in school bathroom, is art. I don't know about that. I'm gonna let you have that. I'm not interested in your poo patties. Foolish human. All right, so what I'm gonna do here to enhance this further, I'm gonna give this guy horns. I like the idea of horns on this guy. I don't know. This is starting to look a little lionish. I think Sketch was right. I'm thinking lion. I don't want to think lion though. I think because the muzzle's so flat. All right, let's do something here. Let's take this, stretch this out a bit, and let's shrink it a bit. I'm gonna leave that for now. I'm gonna leave that. I'm not gonna beat this one up yet. I think it's a cool idea. I like this. I like this stuff. The hair coming off of it. I like the horns. The horns makes a lot of things work really well. Almost like, but I kind of want it to look a little more like a goat. That dentist happened to be a bad artist, and if anyone were to say your work isn't art, I would show them my LA friends' work and ask them, why do they have them displayed on my wall? Well, that's fair, man. I think that's fair, but I'm just saying that's fine. That's fine, man. I don't care anymore. I used to fight for this sort of thing much more, 5, 6 years ago, 10 years ago. It's almost doesn't matter. It's like, is it good? Do you enjoy it? That's that. Whether they want to classify it one way or the other, I guess. But it's not even worth arguing for. I think in the end of the day, whatever it is, it's being used a hell of a lot by Hollywood, and it's affecting our culture, whatever it is. Because there's a lot of music that's considered art that I think is garbage. And you can't. And who's to say it's bad art? Maybe I just don't like pain. And any pain, I look at it more. I see that more as a skill, to be honest. It's a skill. It's a skill, not a, how I use a needle to inject Novocaine or whatever, or not inject Novocaine, whatever the stuff to make your pain go away. Yeah, this is not done right. Maybe it's because my body's weird. Maybe that's the problem. Is your art affected because of your canvas? I don't know. I don't know. Is that a commentary on your art? Or can you call your poo patty art? Oh, you got me messed up with that one. All American. All American cornbread. All American cornbread. Why are you calling yourself All American cornbread? Oh, your character looks like a race from Guild Wars 2 called the Char. Have a look, bro. I better not, because I don't want to imitate those things. I'm just trying to think about how I want to create something. I love goats. I love goats. I love how goats have the little mouth here. This is kind of how I had it in my head. Let me try that. Let me see if this thing works here. Meh, meh. I think goats are so weird with their weird eyes. I think they're so weird. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's what I should be looking at, is more animal reference. Let me do that real quick. Let me look up wolves. Wolves. I wonder what happens if you look up wolves and goats at the same time. Wolves, goats. What would you get from that? Ah. Oh, gee whiz. So I found some music from a guy that I like. I'm looking into that because I think I want to use some of his music for my show, but I have to figure out what he charges and what have you, blah blah blah. Wait a minute, I'm missing something here. Here we are. Let's see. Maybe snarling wolves is a good one to look for. Snarling. That's really what I'm shooting for. It's funny. I guess it's because it's too early. I don't feel good right now. I feel kind of. I have my coffee, but I'm not there yet. Let's see. Let's see. So I'm looking at these wolves. Oh, they're nasty looking. They're nasty. Oh, this one wolf is awesome. So I see this kind of thing here. There's that black circle for the nose. So I know it's not a circle, but it looks like a black circle, and it's got that where, yeah. Okay, that's a very crude drawing, but let's see here. How about I go? So the wolves have a little more of a triangular shape, right? The canine does, right? Looks like my little mutt. She's so nasty, dog. Probably shouldn't have tried to design this after my mutt. She's too small. All right, so we're gonna give this thing some teeth. But I wanted to look otherworldly too. The goal of this is so that it has a different feel to it. I don't want it to look like exactly something we know about. And maybe it's putting the teeth outside of the face. And maybe it goes back to what I was kind of just thinking. Maybe this is something like that. I don't know. The eyes are cool though. That they have cool eyes like this. I don't know. Okay, so I kind of don't like this at all. I like this guy even more, but he's a little bulky. He's a little bulky. It's not a bad thing though, I guess. And as long as there's great horny toads, I don't know. He's gotta have more horns. Maybe he's got this. Maybe. No, maybe. Maybe. Hello, Buck. All right, let's see what else I got. Let's see what else I got under my uh under my sleeve. This thing looks interesting. I don't know what this is. This is like a weird turkey chicken thing. Gobble gobble, gobble gobble. But these are worth exploring though. I really like goat horns. They're so weird looking. Ooh, and maybe it has like a thing, a mane of hair. Ooh, that's creepy as hell. Oh yeah, that's interesting. Hold on a second. I gotta explore that for a second. Let's get rid of this stupid sketch here. This does me no good. And let's explore this idea. Because this, when you see animals, this looks very demonic. This has a very statue of Lucifer thing going for it. Something about the weird eyes. The weird eyes. I like this idea. I like the idea that it has like hair. You know, this is cool. This is ugly cool. I like this. Maybe it's got an ear here. Looks like something out of Hellboy. Me, me. Ooh, ooh. I think I like that. I think I like that. I think I love you, but what are you so afraid of? I don't love Satan. I just like his music. I think my overall conversation on this stuff is just to. It's more about. I don't know. I'm big on taking away power from people who are trying to keep us, you know, us down. I think sometimes that's what these terms and these labels do. Even the term art is become a label. It's not. I mean, I think technically this is a drawing, and if you like my drawings, then so be it. If you want to call it art, that's fine too. But I'm not gonna let you determine my value. And because the term art is so overused, because I don't think everything is art. I think some things are just what they are, and I think people have abused that term. So I don't care if you think it's art, and if you think my you know something is there, it's okay. It's not that I'm not doing it out of an anger or spite. It's more of a okay, that's fine. And so if you don't like my comic art, it's okay. If it doesn't fall within the parameters of your definitions, that's okay too. I'm not bound by those definitions anymore. I'm not going to let you have power over me, over my joy. I have enough stuff in my life that takes takes my joy away. Oh Lord. So I just kind of just taking that away is just enough to say, relax, relax, gonna be all right. So yeah, it's just enough to kind of keep us relating and keep moving, keep making, keep creating. Don't stop. No matter what they tell you, just keep creating. You know, I don't even call myself artist anymore. I call myself a creative professional. So go take that to the bank. Bam. All right, I like this guy. Ooh, that guy's nasty. Ooh, he's so nasty. O'Sheen says, Jesus, JC, I'm not gonna use the Lord anyway. Man, you have some interesting dreams and nightmares. Yeah. Da, 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 da. Yeah, this is meant to be an empowerment conversation, by the way. This is not meant to. It's just to help you, because sometimes people get hung up on that, and we'll fight over the term instead of getting better at whatever it is we do. I want to be a better draftsman. I want to be a better artist, a better drawer. I like using artist instead of drawer because drawer sounds like I'm a drawer. I'm a drawer. Are you a better drawer? Why do kids say drawing? And worse, why do some adults say drawing? That's so stupid. It's clearly not drawings. Guys, I don't know, but I really like this drawing. I know I can't land here because this is about exploring options, but this is a good one. This is a great look here. And we can even take this and give him extra little horns here. And give him little extra horns there. Oof, he's nasty. He's nasty. Give him the weird cloppy teeth. Clop, clop, clop. They're like hooves. Does this guy have hooves? He does have hooves. Ooh, no, he's not. He's no nice. He's no nice. I don't like him. I don't like him. It's like my goddaughter says, no monster, no. That's right. I terrorize children with my monster drawings. Monster. All right. This is cool. I don't know if I'll ever use this guy here, but if he's the right dude for the job, I'm hiring, and I'm not sure if this guy's qualified. He's qualified. He's got some qualifications. I like his. He's got some skill sets. He went to Duke University, and I think I like him for that purpose. But he might not be the right guy for the job. He might not be the right one for the job. But so far, he's pretty cool. I like this guy too. I like this guy. I like this guy. I like this guy. But let's see what else we got. Something that, what things that I do like, I especially like about this is I like the eye, the round eye. I like that it has when you start giving things like brow or they look too human, they could be really weird. It depends how you go about it. Let's see. All American says, I also terrorize children with my, oh gosh. Force one. I had a friend is very good and uses the term draftsman for his work. He says he practices to be able to draw anything. Yeah. That's a good term. That's a good term. I like the term draftsman. But drawer is cooler though. No, it's not. Are these my drawings? You're a good drawer. I like when kids say that. You're a good drawer. Well, thank you. Thank you very much, child. Thank you very much, child. Thank you for acknowledging my drawing skills. Am I making fun of children? Absolutely. Do I hate children? No. That's stupid. Why would you say that? Why would you say I hate children? That doesn't make any sense. I just like to make them cry. All right, that's enough of that. All right. Kind of cool. I like that. For those of you waking up this morning and seeing a screen full of monsters, have a great day. All right. So, anyway, guys, before I take any further, let me stop for a station break. If those of you who may or may not know, I am situated here on YouTube. If you guys like what you're seeing and have not done so yet, please hit like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. The idea is that you can help me build my audience. And if you don't mind, even now, you guys can share. That's something else you can do without any effort or commitment. Share my, hit the share button and share it amongst your friends on Facebook and Twitter. Get the word out about my channel. I like to grow it. I like to get it to the point where it's doing what it's doing and it's productive for me. And maybe we can somehow get me to a point where I can make a little money at this. Super chats are also available if you'd like me to read a super chat, a specific chat, and if you want to be special. And if you give me a super chat, you would have priority over everybody else. That's right. That's right, because I'm a capitalist and I believe in the free market. And also, I also have a tip jar in my description below. It's my PayPal. You can go to PayPal/me, I believe it is. Oh, .me/jerkmonger. So you can go there. How do you share? Force One, you can share. You hit the share button under the video. You can see when just above the comments, you'll see the share button, and you just share it there. That's an awesome way to help me out. Drawler, sorry, not drawled. I've had adults who have had or used the very same word. Yeah, it's funny. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. Oh, man, I'm falling in love with this guy. I'm trying not to fall in love with that guy because he's not what I need. I don't think he's what I need, but he's pretty cool. All right, so how about I'll tell you what. I'm gonna select the ones that are nice to me so far, in my opinion, and we're gonna go from there. I'm going to tink. I like this guy too. Let's do something here with this guy. Let's enlarge that for a second. You can kind of see where I'm trying to go for something horrific, something horrifying. So I like these particular drawings. They look like something devilish, something from another dimension. I just did. Sorry, it took me a moment to figure it out. No worry, Force One, brother. I appreciate you. All American says you should call yourself a professional drawer. Makes you sound like a Western gunslinger. I like that. I'm a professional drawer, drawing for a living. Sometimes I drool as well. Let's do this. This guy looks like he needs to look like that. Already, that little twist. Let me angle him out like this. Do I go like this or do it something else? Let's see about that. Let's see what that looks like comparatively. That works. That works. Oh man, Force One, thank you, man. I appreciate that, dude. Thank you so much for that $1.99. I appreciate that. I know that's that comes from your heart, man. Thank you very, very much. So yeah, all right. So I'm digging on this, guys. I'm digging on these guys. These guys are my front runners so far. I believe it or not, the guy that fits my narrative most is this guy. Partly because it looks more like a wolf. That's what he's supposed to be. Doesn't quite look like a wolf right now. Looks like a lion because of the snout, I think. And it's that dogs have that weird round nose. It's so weird because it almost looks, even on some of these wolf photos I'm looking at, they look kind of piggish. They look piggish. Here, I'll show you what I mean. I'm just going to show you my search thing. Look at these guys. Is this working? They look piggish. Look at this snout right here. Look at that. Look at this guy. Look at that guy. That's piggish. He's got like a button for a nose. I'm not afraid of that guy. Now the teeth, gnarly, but that nose, not so much. Not so much. I'm not feeling that nose so much. So we'll see what we do with that. I gotta think about that some more. All right. Gunslinger drawer. I'm the best drawer in town. That's right, Force One. And you better believe it. All right, let's try again. Again, all of these have things that are interesting to me. The important thing is it going to fit what I wanted? And you know, I don't want to... Oh, man, I can see this guy here. I can see this guy with dreads now. These will become clumpy dreadlocks. Because he doesn't bathe, right? So he shouldn't have clean tufts of hair. They should all be matted and nasty, and little pieces of debris falling around all over him, flies everywhere. Isn't that gross? That's the amount that came up. Can I change that to more? I'm still figuring this whole YouTube thing out. Yeah, you can change it to more. I think you can raise, there's a bar, a handle that goes up. So you could definitely do that, Force One. But listen, man, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for that. I'm getting close to my threshold where all the super chats and the ad revenue is getting close to my $100 threshold. Once it reaches $100, I can collect my first payment from YouTube. Yay! Yay! First payment. Yay! But alas, it takes a little bit. You have to build it up. So that's why we're encouraging you guys to do it. But like I said, sharing is really important too, man. You get the other people in, and man, if I could get 1,000 people in a chat, right? That's the dream. And each person just gave me 99 cents. Man, I'd be happy with that right there. I'd be happy with that. Wouldn't that be awesome? Makes me want to sing, we are the world. We are the children. We are the ones that gave $1 to him so he can feed his children. That's funny. All right, so I'm going to darken this back here. All right. All right. I like this guy. Holy moly, this guy is cool. I'm really digging this drawing here, man. I'm sad because it doesn't really fit what I want. Although there's probably something in between. But remember, I have to also figure out how to draw this guy over and over again. So let's try something that looks a little more canine. I'm gonna change my search. Oh man, Force One, thank you. You were very generous. And by the way, you can type something in there and I can read it out. And that's the goal of that, is so that people can see it. But Force One gave $9.99. Thank you, my brother. I completely am so blessed by that. Thank you very much. I'm also going to look at let's see here. You know what's cool, and a lot of this for me is mixing it up, right? So I was just watching this guy on YouTube who was, I think it's called Brave Frontier or something like that. He was letting these creatures bite him. I thought that was pretty cool too. Insects. Oh, these things were gnarly, man. There was like some kind of ant, something or other. These different kinds of, I don't know, but the insect thing is not that attractive to me though. It is cool, but I wanted to feel like, or there you go. Didn't know. Let's see. There you go. Didn't know what the little scroll bar was for. Thank you. You got it, brother. You got it. All right. So maybe I'm gonna put in what's another good like freakish creature in the wild. Let's see. How about we look for let's see. This wolf is cool too. Hold on, let me bring that search in here too. I like this wolf here. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, I like that guy. He looks monstrous. That's a monster right there. That's a vile, evil monster right there. Dude, you're worth it. Enjoy the videos and knowledge being shared. Thanks, man. You got it. All right, so we're gonna try that Brutus, the beefcake guy. He's dope. So this is where maybe having that. So he's got a high crown, right? We call this a crown. This is the top of the head, and his ears are up here, which has the devilish. Got the devil, Bobby Boucher, the devil. Okay, so we're gonna do some of that, and then we're gonna give him some eyes down here, but they're evil eyes, and they're blah. But sometimes if the eyes are too small, it can throw off your design a little bit. So let's just keep doing it. Let's just keep building, because this might be the start of something wonderful here. So you guys can see what I'm doing here. Let me zoom in a bit. So I'm kind of redrawing that guy that I saw, and maybe I can find a way to modify him to make him look more like what I need him to be. Like, I don't care for this. I still don't care for the weird pudgy nose, the cute button nose that dogs have. Although, I mean, it is cool though. Maybe it's more of like a thing like this. See, I don't like it. They always look weird when I draw it the way I see it. If it's not just a black dot, you know. Well, that's why I tend to do like what a lion nose looks like, because I find that to be a little more menacing. So something in between, I guess. Let's see. Cornbread says, "Is this a good guy or a bad guy?" Seriously, Cornbread? Seriously? You really? Oh, okay. He's a bad guy. He's a bad guy. He's a bad guy for show. Bad guy for show. So what I like about dogs, they have this cool ridge of teeth, man. They're super sharp all the time. You know, you think about human teeth, they have the flat pieces, man. But man, dog teeth are like, they're so gnarly, you know. And it's got the teeth over here, and they also come out like that, like those demon things from Japan, those demon masks. They got fangs that come out. That's always cool. So this isn't perfect, but I'm kind of getting somewhere here, I think. But this still doesn't look like a monster. That wolf did. But what made the wolf look like a monster was the overall shape. Like it had this kind of thing. Like that was cool. And maybe I had to separate the eyes a bit more. I don't know. This is where, again, working digital is so fun because you can do some fast editing, and it helps a lot. You don't need to draw digital. I think that's, you know, I was listening to the conversation we had the other night about whether digital will take over or not. I guess John Malin and stuff. It'll never go away. It could possibly take away. I think sometimes we judge the future too much based on where we are today. I think if you would ask, you know, if you had asked Henry Ford, you know, what the future looked like, I think he'd have a different perspective even than what he came up with. It's not. I don't think it's that simple. I think there's a lot going on, and you know, or if you had asked, you know, people who were riding around in carts, like in Little House on the Prairie, what would the future look like? They probably would have said, well, we'll never get rid of carts. We'll never get that far away from the stuff. But you know, it's clear that it's definitely shifted away from any of that. There was no way they could have predicted technology and the advancements in technology the way it's kind of become. So, you know, thinking of in terms of that, paper is important to us today, but it may come a time in the future maybe paper is not readily available. Although, after hearing about hemp and everything, sounds like it's going to get cheaper. So hopefully we'll keep paper around for a while. I like print. I'm not against print at all. I'm just saying that, you know, I don't like saying things like it'll never go away. I think print may never die, but does it turn into plastic? I don't know. I'm not that smart. I can't figure that out. But I can say that one way or the other, using computer tools as a tool is just that, a tool. And so whether you're using a computer to do your stuff or rulers and rubber bands, go for it, right? I thought we would have flying cars by now, just 30 years ago. That's true. We look at a lot of stuff like that. Force One said, we look at a lot of stuff like that and we can say, hey, you know, it's evolving so fast. And fast, like I never thought we'd have. I mean, we practically have the Dick Tracy watch, right? With the smart watches and stuff like that. We practically have that. So for those of you who may be too young, there was a comic book character called Dick Tracy back in, I think, the 30s and 40s. And it was a comic strip, maybe 50s. But anyway, his whole thing was he was a detective and he had this cool watch that had like a TV on it. And Jack Kirby created something called the Mother Box for his New Gods. And here we are, you know, 20, 30 years later, 30, 40 years later, and everyone has cell phones. I mean, never in my wildest imagination would I imagine that would be the tool of choice. Now, kids, I never thought toys would disappear. We lost Toys R Us. Kids aren't engaging in that system anymore. It's just different, you know. So it's very interesting, very, very interesting. Do toys exist anymore? Do kids play with toys? I think they do. I think that's still an important part, the tactile nature of what they do. But it's just so weird now. CG has taken over. I never thought we'd get rid of 2D animation. Never thought about that. Oops. I just dropped my comb. I literally comb my hair to so when just in case I mistakenly turned on my camera, you wouldn't see me looking like a madman. But then I put on a hat, so it wouldn't matter. All right, so I'm drawing. I'm trying to humanize this wolf that I saw. By humanize, I don't mean humanize him, but I mean like give him some anthropomorphic features. You know, make him a little taller, give him a head, give him a jaw, perhaps like this, so he's more of like a human beast thing. It's crazy how you can't get kids to okay with toys now, to play with toys now. Yeah. It's because of the tablets. The tablets have changed everything. I mean, I don't want to say that the floppies are going to go away, but gosh, it's starting to look curiouser and curiouser as far as the future of those kinds of products, that they're becoming obsolete. And you know, again, I'm not a fan of that. I love floppies too, but you know, the truth be told, I have a lot of content already stored up digitally. I've been looking on Comixology, picking up some stuff that's digital stuff on sale. Like during the holidays, there was a lot of sales, like big time, 80% off sales. My problem with digital content is that I'm not a fan of buying digital. But that's a whole. It's because people are selling it for the same prices with the same type of overhead concept as you know, as when you brick and mortar. There's no reason why you should be spending $5 on a comic that's digital. There's just no reason. Anyway, yay, they do. People are just buying toys from Amazon and Walmart now. Kinda, but I guess so. I remember toys were everything for me, and now if you I would take toys with me to restaurants. Even as I got older, I was like, bring a little toy with me. Oh, cool, little flying guy. Today, it's all that. I think it probably depends too if you can afford the tablets, you know, but as soon as I let my kids try out a cell phone or anything, forget it. And the stupidest games, gosh, some of the games are so dumb. Oh well, what are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do? You can't hold on to everything. You have to be willing to say, okay, things are shifting. You just gotta stay flexible. That's all. Stay flexible. Don't get so stiff-necked that you're not willing to bend with what's happening. Just stay humble. Stay humble. Stay quick, because that's the downfall, I think, to a lot of creators. Is you know, I have a friend who's like, no, I only want to draw with paper. Okay, that's fine. Like I'm doing here, I need to move fast, so this tool helps me move fast. You know, and I've had a computer for years now, since I could afford one. I remember putting my first computer, my first iMac. It was an iMac, the bubble thing, the eggs, whatever they call it now. My nieces have nephews play with toys. My sons are too old for them now, 19, 18, and 15. The toys are bigger than a Joe doll. Yeah. Digital comics is hard for me to justify buying when piracy is so easy. Well, that's true. That's true. Well, that's why, you know, there's another model out there for digital comics that I'm endorsing and I've explored in the past. There's a book out called How to Make Web Comics, How to Make Web Comics. And the principle that they espouse there is that what you're really selling is not the comic. You're selling the merchandise that goes with the comic. That's what they're encouraging you to do. That's where the money really is at. If you think about this. Think about how many comics are sold, and then think about how many T-shirts are sold of these comic book characters. I have more T-shirts now, and I won't have a problem spending $15, $20 on a nice T-shirt if I think it's something I can wear. Yesterday I was walking in the supermarket. I couldn't believe this. I saw this heavy set dude. He was wearing a DC comic shirt, a black shirt with a giant bullet on it that said DC, the modern one. And he had I forgot what hat he was wearing, and I was like, holy moly, he's decked out. He's a comic fan. But, you know, you can take that with you everywhere you go. You can't take comics with you everywhere you go. Even in the tablet, you can't do it. You can, you know, bring it with you, but you're not always wearing it. You're not always branding it like this guy was. Sean Fry says digital is better for my eyes. I'll tell you what, digital is better for me too, because I can enlarge the image more and see the art better, see the stuff. So something for you guys to think about. But yeah, so what they try to do is get you on buying the stuff. Now they'll publish volumes of the book of work later, but it's basically like a special. It's like what we're doing here on Indiegogo. You're buying into the specialized product. So that's something to think about. Those of you who are interested in creating stuff, there's different pathways for you too. You don't have to. It doesn't have to be, always a comic book, but it's just a thought. I've been playing with that idea. In fact, as I'm working on this book, I'm planning on doing the Young Adventures of Otomo on Webtoons, and trying to, do soft introduction to the character there until I do the fuller story later. But it would almost seem like an Elseworld story if it wasn't, because it has that flavor of an old, golden age comic book setup. All right, so there's things about this that I like, and then there's things I don't like about this. What don't I like about this? Well, he looks somewhat ferocious. He just doesn't look ferocious enough. Not even as ferocious as my inspiration. What is it about him? Maybe he doesn't have enough hair coming out. Let's try that. Let's make his face might be too large. Let's do that. Let's reduce the size of his face so that his head looks bigger. This reminds me a little bit of the Hellboy book, Wolves of St. August. This helps a lot, actually. I like when the ears have that like devil pointed look to it. This is why dogs sometimes have been seen as hellhounds and such. Let's see. Force One says, I want to get digital tablet. It's just really hard to get the wife to okay spending the money for it. Every time I even bring the subject, she reminds me, we need a living room set. Yeah, dude. Trust me, man. I'm in much the same way, brother. I'm in much the same way. There are benefits, though. It depends. It depends how you justify it. I mean, if it's a business cost, blah 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 blah. But even if you have a business, man, I don't have the money for it either. I've been wanting to buy an iPad for a while. I do have a mobile studio. I got that mobile studio as an exchange for payment on a project I did for a company I used to do. Well, the client that I lost recently. I didn't lose them. They couldn't use me anymore. They were going in a different direction. So I didn't lose them necessarily. I wasn't going to be able to give them what they needed. But anyway, and I'm looking at the drawing again, wondering if it's still what I need it to be. So do that too. So it works. The only downside is, man, that tablet is always getting updated. For whatever reason, Intuos is really, I don't know if it's that the PCs are being updated so much that the tablet doesn't, it just gets outdated so fast with that technology. So it's always doing something weird. It doesn't alert me that it needs to be updated until it's too late. I'm in the middle of a project, and all of a sudden it starts acting weird or it starts to slow down. I'm like, what is going on? So I love the mobile studio. I know Malin uses it quite a bit. I don't feel like it's not helping me a lot lately in recent weeks and months. But so I'm back at my computer here in my office. The whole idea was I can move around. I didn't have to stay stationary at any spot. I could move around to the house, living room, blah blah blah. But I'm finding that it's not helpful. iPad though is very, very attractive. I like it because it's portable, ultra portable, and that pencil thing is great, and the apps for it are pretty cool. See, the problem here is that he looks like he's smiling. I don't want him to look like he's smiling. I want him to look like he's gonna bite your face off. Yeah, this doesn't look good. I don't like this. So you go to someone else to buy your Cintiq. So you got someone else to buy your Cintiq. Well, it was it was an exchange. It wasn't I didn't buy it outright. I don't have that kind of cash, man. I think it was like a $2,500 machine. At the time, the work I was doing for them, warranted the purchase, and they hooked me up. I worked for them for a while, for several years. It just came time that they were gonna go with a different organization that had some sort of thing. Anyways, they bought it, and I got to keep it. I guess I could have it. I said, cool. Sometimes in those kinds of situations, they'll buy it, but you have to return it when you're done. But this time they were like, no, you good. That's for you. And it was partial payment for a project, and I got that. I said, okay, cool. And so it was a good exchange. If you can get a client to do that, that's really cool. But I don't even know what a mobile studio is. I feel lost. Mobile studio is a Cintiq product that is, it's a computer inside the Cintiq. So I don't have to connect it. In fact, you can't connect it, I don't think, to, you can't connect it to a thing. Hey, baby. Hi, how are you?
The kids are staying home today.
The kids are staying home today? Okay. Sorry. Hey, just let me know if you want to use the machine. Okay, yeah. My wife is letting me know the kids are staying home today. I don't know. Who decided that? I didn't say that. I didn't say that was cool. Sean Fry says iPad is better than a Cintiq. Yeah, I think that's probably true. The Cintiq is good. I like the Cintiq a lot. I like it because I can use Photoshop on it. I don't like that about this iPad, that it's only limited to those programs that they have. But whatever. It's still very cool. Again, I'm not here to promote one thing over another. Again, that's not helpful. What's helpful is just explaining what the differences are and giving that to you guys so you know what you're dealing with. Photoshop is my weapon of choice. I've been using Photoshop for many, many years. I'm not saying I can't try something else, but I'm just saying that it is what I use. And I like it. So, and it's a familiar workflow for me. Now, some people swear by the iPad, but most of the time they're still exporting into Photoshop. So I'm like, oh, I'll just stick with Photoshop for now. But you know what though, Force One, if right now someone offered me an iPad, I'd take the money instead because I need the money instead. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't get it twisted. It just happened at the time I was making some decent money, and I could afford to just take the pad, the mobile studio. The point was I was working on a bunch of stuff, and they wanted me to work on it while I was away from the house. So then I was like, well, I can't because I'm going to be out of town. So, well, here. I said, okay, sure, I'll take that. All right, so this guy looks cool, but just see how he just kind of looks generic. He's not that cool. He needs something else. He needs things like, he needs some stuff like this. Maybe he could come this way. Maybe something like that. Maybe something like that. I don't know. Maybe something like that. I'm just kind of scribbling in some white. I should probably just erase some of it out. It's a little too much scribbling for me. So now I feel like I gotta tighten up this hairline so it looks a little more something or other. Get AstroPad app for iPad. You can use all your iMac software. That makes it like a Cintiq, right? But then what's the point of the iPad then? That's what I have the Cintiq for. See what I'm saying? It's like it just doesn't, there's a specific purpose I would need it for. I don't need it to do what a Cintiq does. I already have the Cintiq for that. What I need it to do is what it's really good at, which is the portable art station, where I can sketch and draw, versus having, because I tell you what, I bring a sketchbook with me all the time, and it's not a very convenient thing to bring around. Sketchbooks, again, paper, not convenient at all. I'll bring a sketchbook with me. I have my pack of pencils and all that jazz. and I'm trying to show off. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna draw here. By the time I get everything out and I have all these tools everywhere, what I love about the idea of the iPad is that you can just bring out the tablet, you lay it down on the counter or on the table wherever you're at in the restaurant, blah blah blah, the coffee house, and you just start sketching fast. It's so fast. Now you can say, yeah, but you got the same thing with the pencil. Yeah, sorta. Except now I got to take that same pencil and I gotta fit it into a thing. I got my glasses. I can't see well. I get all this stuff. It's very complicated. It can be very complicated, So it's not the easiest thing. So there goes my reasoning for the digital workflow. The question is, yeah, you can use it as a Cintiq, but I don't need it for Cintiq. The Cintiq works. I need it for the other good uses for it. So that's what I'm kind of shooting for. But again, we're still looking at about $1,000, a little over $1,000 to get the size that I want and the pencil that I want. Now, what I'm really interested to know is to find out from people who use Photoshop is coming to iPad this year. But you understand, Sean, that Photoshop is coming to iPad this year. I have Photoshop right now on my desktop, and how much am I going to be paying for said Photoshop? I'm already paying Photoshop price for my computer. Am I going to have to pay for it to be on that? See, there's just a lot of challenges like that. It's like I said, not interested in this comparison. If you never had anything and you use that, then go for it. But I already have most of the tools that I need. Once the computer thing becomes something else, then maybe I'll change my mind about it later. But for now. All right, so you can see this is closer to what I kind of wanted. I think this was the candidate I was looking for. I said that was like a bear. Ah, but I don't know if I like him. I'm not sure if I like him. Force One says that's a good idea. Next time someone asks me to do some artwork for them, get them to get a lower model digital screen tablet. That's not a bad idea. I mean, if you can afford it. The whole reason why I do the work is to pay the bills. So that's why I haven't upgraded since, because I need to pay the bills. But you're not far off. If you can get people to pay for it for you, you don't have to sweat that too much. All right, so another reason why I don't like this is that it's just very feathery and soft. I'm doing a lot of this type of stuff. I'm already scared of what I'm going to have to do to translate this. But Sean, I don't mean to be dismissive about your point. It's a valid point. Again, if you've never owned anything, this might be a great way to jump in with something like that. Starting to look like Doug on a full moon. Yeah, well, Doug can be a little hairy. He can be hairy. Let's see here. Maybe he needs some more hair. Now the question is, how am I going to draw this guy as a graphic? He looks a little like a bear now, right? That's probably the problem. Let's get rid of these guys here. Maybe it's more like this. All right, I like that. Fluffy. Tommy, how you doing? He does seem a little, I don't know, too much hair. What I like about this guy is it's got a lot of muscle-y stuff. Hair is secondary. So let's see if I can help that at all. So let's lower the opacity of this. Let's say this is what I wanted. Let's redraw it. Let's see if I can make it more graphic. Hey guys, I'm going to put you guys on mute for a second while how do I do that? How do I do that? All right, I'm going to mute myself real quick and let my wife make some breakfast smoothies. Give me a second. All right, I'm back for a moment. My wife is going to be here in a second. Is this a werewolf? Yes, Tommy. It's supposed to be a werewolf, Tommy. Tempo 75. I think that's Malin. I think so too. Trust me. Okay, so let me see here. I'm gonna try something here. I'm gonna break the fangs off of the face. Off of the, out of the jowl, out of the mouth. Maybe give it, I don't know. I don't know if this is gonna work, but maybe do something like that. I mean, the face is small compared to the skull. It looks more dog than a wolf. Wolf has larger snout. Perhaps, but I'm not worried about that yet. I'm really not trying to do a wolf at all, as it is a beast that is inspired by the wolf. A werewolf of sorts. Eyes help. Also, this is a straight on view, which I don't care for, but I did a lot of mistakes on this already. So, alright, so let's say this was my dude. Alright. Tomb, what's going on? My dogs have lean fur like this. Wolf would be rougher looking. Yeah, I was basing it off of a piece of photograph I saw here. Let me show you. This is the. Where did it go? This is that's what I was thinking here. I like that look. It had that feel of a larger head, but you know, I'm playing with the proportions a bit so I can make it look a little. I'm trying to find where I could borrow the. I don't want to make it a wolf, because wolves by themselves just look like dogs, look like wolves, a canine, whatever. I'm trying to make it look like a humanoid-ish thing I can convert into a beast that, you know. But already I'm getting this weird mouth thing. It's probably more realistic than anything, but all right, let's dump this one for now. All right, be cool, All American Cornbread. I appreciate you so much. Thanks for hanging in. Don't forget, guys, down in the description is links to my tip jar and PayPal. Also, you can see my other stuff. You have my Patreon, which, by the way, I'm reformatting that. Patreon is gonna, I'm not sure I'm gonna get rid of it, but I'm gonna definitely adjust it, because I really, right now, I can't afford to do much. It's basically there for support. If people want to support me with $1 a month, that's great. You know, if I can get if I got enough people to support me for $1 a month, it would be fine, and then I can move forward. But until that happens. All right, so I'm going to try to develop something here. Let me see what I'm doing here. What am I doing here? See, I don't like this so much. Oh man, the problem with the wolf idea is that it's I think I'm hung up on the wolf thing. That's why I was liking this other stuff. All right, hold on. I'm gonna put you on pause one more time, y'all. Hold on, or mute. All right. I'm back. Sorry about that. Again, I'm trying to find something that's going to be easy to draw. So that wolf thing was getting a little hairy. Haha, get it? What book of the month? Book of the month. No, I think it's just I'm trying to get that out. I have all the scans, but I haven't had a chance to sit down because I've been running up against, really, frankly, debt issues. I gotta pay my bills and stuff. So I was cranking on that instead. But I think I'm gonna do some of that today. Finally, put out the sketchbook of all my art. But I'm going to be adjusting it because I just as far as the giving away free art and stuff like that, I really can't afford to do it anymore. You know, it's getting challenging, and I've run into some problems with people. I've had complaints where people feel like I may have been, you know, are you being fair about this and blah blah blah. And I'm like, you know what, I can't do that. And if people are going to be frustrated about it, then it's not even the value of it is gone. So I'm gonna I'm just gonna set it up so that people can support me, help me out if they want, and if they don't, that's okay. No big deal, no loss. I'll still try to do the sketchbook because I'm still drawing things every month. It's just a matter of getting it all into the computer scanned, which is another reason why I like drawing digital, because I feel like I'm already drawing in the computer, so I just gotta put it out and make it work. So I'm going to be putting in all the stuff from this month, last month, and the month before into this big sketchbook that if you are currently on my Patreon, you can go on there and you're going to get it. You're going to get all this art digitally. What you do with it, hopefully you're not going to do anything wrong with it. You're going to enjoy it. But some of it's going to be not the highest resolution, just enough for you to enjoy it. Later on, some of that material will be included into these books that I'm producing with Doug and other ideas. All right, so here you go. I don't know about that one. It looks very feline-ish, not even close to canine. Oh man. See, this one here is cool, this guy here, but he's very majestic looking. I don't want it to be too majestic. This guy here, he's too majestic. He looks like a lion. This one, nice and evil, not quite what I wanted, but I like it. This guy, and this looks weird. This guy, he's a cat. This guy's a T-Rex. A T-Rex. I love it. I love it, but I need to make because there's another creature in the story that I think is going to become a thing. So how about, well, let's try drawing again. And I keep adding layers because I'm trying to make sense of what I'm drawing. I just play with the shape a little bit more. What about you? Google Lovecraft. Ghoul Lovecraft. What's a Ghoul Lovecraft? It could be a rat. A rat monster could be cool. Let me see what you mean by Ghoul Lovecraft. That sounds fascinating. Hide my windows here. It's funny how I was willing to look at that, but not the other stuff. Oh. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, sorta. Something, they looked like half inspired by dogs, half inspired by rats. I like the rat idea a lot. Let me see. Let's see what this rat look. Let me Google a rat. Rat. What is that rattle sculpture? How did I get that? Huh. Let's see what this does for me. Taking a look at rats, guys. Taking a look at rats. Oops. Hold on. Hold, please. So, see, I like this little toothy thing here. These are, I love those teeth. Let's see. They don't look very menacing, but oh, that's cool. That's a cool one. Look at that guy, mole rat. It's freaky. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's so freaky. Too early for that. All right. That's cool. That's even cooler right there. All right, let's look at that. Let's keep that up on my screen. And I put that up here again. What free art? Dude, you need to eat. No free art. Not anyone got a complaint, send them my way. I'll shame them into an apology. Nah, man. It's not all that. It's something I promised in the thing. I was doing at a tier. You would get. It wasn't very many people either that did it, and so it was costing me more to ship stuff and everything. It's like it's all good. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch to this rat idea, which I like. I like the rat idea a lot. So I'm going to go here. Let's see if I can't. I think I'm going to do something like this. Almost a Nosferatu thing. Ooh, I like this. I like how the jaw drops down. Now I'm doing a side view. I don't know. I kind of like this. Yeah, the $5 tier. That was it. No. Was it? I'm not sure which one it was. If you need rat art, you can Google Skaven Warhammer. Skaven Warhammer. What's that? You guys are a plethora of knowledge. Skaven Warhammer. Warhammer, yeah. Perth Comics says, I was just thinking Skaven, and then I read your comment. It says Perth to Tommy Sarkin. All right, let's see what I got here. Ooh, oh, these are cool dudes. Oh, yeah, some good stuff. Ooh, I like these T-Rex guys in this next image here. Total Warhammer expert. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah. I'm making sound effects of what I see on screen. Ooh, this guy looks dope. It looks like a mum rat meets a rat. But they still have little pretty nose. See, I like the idea of the nose being weirder. So I might go a little bit further out, but I love it. Thank you for that information, Tommy and Perth. If my name ever comes up, keep the art, feed your family, just send me a thank you email. I'm good. Oh, man, thank you, dude. Thank you for that. But listen, man, it's going to be, what I'm doing is, I'm probably going to simplify everything into just the sketchbook and other stuff. So we'll talk more about it. I'm going to put an announcement out soon. Or just get rid of the thing altogether. But I appreciate the help. It does help, any money I can make from that helps a lot. So, so let's see. Now, what I could do with this guy, right? Is I can give him hair like the wolf thing, which is where the wolf thing comes from. And I'm hung like a rat wolf. Ooh, that's cool. Rat wolves. And I'm hungry like a wolf. Humming now, stoodle down. And then I hunt down after you. Maybe his hair comes up here. Let's get rid of that. Skiddly beep bop bop Bambi. Oh, there's something cool about this though, you know? It's got a little bit of the goat thing that I like, the weirdness of the goat, but it's got its own thing, so it kind of resembles a werewolf, but kind of not. I like this. I like this. What time is it here? 6:25. How long have I been on here now? Been on here for a while, I think. All right, 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 all right. All right. So yeah. So guys, like I said earlier, if you are interested, you can share this video, or this link to this video. It's in the underneath the screen here. If you have if you think anyone would enjoy anything like this in your group of social media folks, then by all means share alike. Um, I could really use more viewers and help build up the audience, and that would be dope-atronic, dope-alicious. See what I like about how he looks cool? Okay, let me tell you why this guy's cool. Watch this. So now that is him. So you get a little bit of this, a little bit of the werewolf, a little bit of the goat, some of the lion, right? Because I got the mane. I get to keep my little teeth thing going here, right? He's got the tongue in here. All right, so he's doing that kind of thing, and I get to do this cool like upper. I like monsters to have these larger torsos. Do you remember the hyena guy in was it that one thing? It was called brother, had been really fun, but sorry, I need to sleep. I slept 2 hours and woke up to your video. I need the rest of my 7 hours. Like the rat monster thing, you got going. Gotta go. All right, Force One, thank you so much for the super chats. I appreciate that. Thank you, brother. So yeah, guys, I also have super chats available. That's another way you can help build up my thing. I'm not making any money on those super chats yet because it has to build up to $100 before I can collect any funds. So if you are interested in helping the brother out with that, then by all means, it's there. All right, so Tommy says dog teeth are uneven with an empty space between the chewing teeth and the fangs. It looks weird. Dog teeth are uneven. Okay, yeah, that's cool. I mean, right now I'm just trying to draw the monster, so it doesn't have to be a dog. I'm just using the dog as a template. It was supposed to be like a werewolf, were-dog thing, but I like this idea here where it has this kind of like, it's supposed to look weird. I want it to look weird. I want it to look like it's just this monster. So now, I don't want it to be something you've seen before. I want it to be a little, I don't know, maybe I'm presuming too much here because I've not done enough monsters to know the difference, but even as I'm coming up with stuff, you guys are getting new ideas. So I only have so much, but I wanted to give this guy wings or something. I don't know if it'll work or not, but we'll see. He's a creature. He's a demonic being. You like this one? Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, see, to me, this feels good here, man. He's got a cool thing. He make a cool action figure or something, or a statue or something. I don't know about the wings yet, but I'm just, it was in my head as far as what I thought I wanted, so I'm including it for now. Yeah, see, let's hide this last image here because that's distracting me. Just did a Facebook share before I went. See you later. All right, Force One, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you, brother. All right, so now I can do this. Now I can come in here with this. Yeah, see, and I can do this. Do a little. Yeah, see, this is fun. Maybe this is gonna work. I don't know. This will give me some cool things to move around. Like when he turns his head, it might sway a certain way. You might, leave those things there. I want him to look a little mangy. That's why I like this teeth like this. It's got a kind of a mangy look to him. It's not quite. I mean, I figure out what he looks like from the front view, but still pretty cool. Yeah. So here's his tongue. And here's the let's see. I'm gonna give him a little bit of a deeper chin here, I think, or maybe just more like this or something. Maybe it comes like this. It's kind of like a mustache, kind of not. It's got it on both sides, of course. So maybe this ear is extended. It's a little longer. And I wanted him to have some sort of horns. Like a goat. Little goat horns. I'm kind of digging this guy. I'm not going to lie to you. Alright, so but you guys see now how many drawings I had to get through to decide where I wanted to be at, Alright, so I like this. I like it. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. He's gonna have little lumpy things everywhere. He's got some, like little pox and stuff like that. Again, I'm not sure how I'm going to render this for the book, although this is not that far off. I think I can do this for the book. This has the vibe that I think I wanted as far as the level of art and intensity of detail. Oh, interesting if you had like pincers, right? That'd be kind of weird. That's even cool too. If he only had like a few. If he only had a few fingers instead of the full set. Anything that can make him look a little bit weirder. Anything that will make him look like he's, not normal or earthly or anything like that, right? So like I might even give him extra eyes just to make him look a little stranger. Like that's freaky. That's freaky. But sometimes that could get too freaky. It becomes too weird for the consumer. So let me just do this. And give him a larger. This is very Doug Tenablian. This is very Dougian right here. That giant eyeball. Yeah, man. That's already cool. See, this is where you can really have fun by playing with proportions and saying, oh, okay, what if he just had this instead of that? And before you know it, you got something, somewhat unique. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it's just different enough. What about only empty holes as eyes? Because I need him to look. I need this to look because I need him to see. That could be cool. Let's say an illustration of some sort. I'm even going to give him little weird Lovecraftian eyeballs. Octopi, something or other, goat eyes. That's weird. That's weird right there. Yeah, if I gave him the eye sockets, it might be interesting, but I want him to be able to stare intently at something. So, because of what I want to do with him. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring this other one here. All right, so I like this guy. I think he works. No eyes would be kind of creepy. Well, let me see. Let's see what happens. Maybe I could do the blackout things that I do, which I can actually do that here too. That's intense as well. I'm not sure about the wings. I'd like the idea of the wings in my head. Maybe it's not executed as well, but I've seen things like this before that make me happy. Like, why would it have wings if it can't fly? But then why do chickens have wings? I'm just saying. And maybe this is his overall form. Does he have a tail? Probably. Let's see. Let's give you guys what you asked for as far as the no eyes. Let's see. Let's give him. Let's give him the. Let's just give him the. See, I think anything looks like eyes after it's. I don't know. I feel like it just looks like. Again, maybe I'm not drawing it as well. All right, let's see. So it just looks like eyes. I can't not see the eyes, so I think I like the original eyes better. But I do like giving him more wrinkles under the eyes. All right, so I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna come back later probably and do some inking on this guy. I like this a lot. I think that works somewhat. We'll see. But for now, I'm gonna go freshen up a bit some more, and then come back later, and we'll keep working out the details on my beastie here, and we'll see what we get. But in the meantime, thanks guys for hanging out. I really appreciate it. I want to thank all of you who have stuck around for the whole time of the video. Those of you who may not have, I'm not sure how many of you have liked the video, but please hit the like button, share if you don't mind. Tommy says skip the wings. Yeah, maybe. And be sure to come back later. See you after. All right, Tune Be Good. Brian Doble just started. Brian. And give me a holler later. We can chat some more. There you go, Tommy. I listen to you. I just don't. Never let it be said I don't listen to you, Tommy. Never let it be said. But I'll chat with you guys later, and we will commence with some further detailing out of our beastie. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Aiden wants to go to school.